Potatoes are often perceived as one of the most basic and comforting whole foods, yet they are also among the easiest foods to push deep into the ultra-processed category, and this contrast makes them particularly deceptive in the modern diet. In their natural state, potatoes contain fiber, potassium, vitamin C, vitamin B6, resistant starch, and a complex cellular structure that slows digestion and supports satiety. Boiled or baked whole potatoes can be filling and nutritionally meaningful. The problem arises from how easily this structure collapses under industrial processing. Potatoes are composed largely of starch and water, and once their cell walls are disrupted through peeling, grinding, dehydration, or extrusion, they become one of the most manipulable raw materials in the food industry. Industrial processing begins by stripping away the potato's skin, where much of its fiber and micronutrients are concentrated. What remains is a starch-rich interior that can be shredded, mashed, dried, or chemically altered with little resistance. Potato starch has exceptional binding and expansion properties, allowing manufacturers to mold it into uniform shapes, compress it into flakes or powders, and reconstitute it into products that barely resemble real potatoes. This makes potatoes ideal for mass production of fries, chips, hash browns, instant mashed potatoes, and puffed snacks. These products are engineered for consistency, speed, and sensory appeal, not nutritional integrity. Deep frying is one of the most damaging transformations potatoes undergo, and it is central to their ultra-processed forms. When potato starch is exposed to high temperatures in industrial seed oils, several harmful processes occur simultaneously. The rapid gelatinization of starch increases its glycemic impact, causing sharp blood sugar spikes. At the same time, frying dramatically increases calorie density by saturating the potato with oil. This combination of fast-digesting carbohydrates and refined fats is metabolically disruptive, promoting insulin surges, fat storage, and poor appetite regulation. Additionally, high-temperature frying produces compounds such as acrylamide, a substance formed when starchy foods are cooked at extreme heat, which has been linked to increased cancer risk in animal studies and is a growing concern in human dietary exposure. Potato chips and extruded potato snacks represent an even more extreme departure from the original food. These products are often made from potato flakes or starch rather than whole potatoes, meaning the natural fiber matrix has already been destroyed before cooking even begins. Extrusion cooking subjects the starch to intense heat and pressure, creating a light, crispy texture that dissolves quickly in the mouth. This rapid breakdown bypasses normal chewing and satiety signals, allowing large quantities to be consumed with little sense of fullness. Salt, flavor enhancers, and artificial seasonings are then added to amplify palatability, encouraging habitual overeating while delivering minimal nutritional benefit. Instant mashed potatoes and powdered potato products carry a different, but equally concerning profile. Dehydration and reconstitution remove much of the potato's original texture and resistant starch, replacing it with rapidly absorbable carbohydrates. These products are often fortified with emulsifiers, stabilizers, and added fats to mimic the mouthfeel of real mashed potatoes. While they may appear benign or convenient, they behave more like refined carbohydrates in the body, raising blood glucose quickly and providing far less satiety than whole potatoes. Regular reliance on these forms can worsen glycemic control, especially in individuals with insulin resistance or diabetes. Another significant issue with ultra-processed potato products is portion distortion. Whole potatoes are bulky and filling, naturally limiting intake. In contrast, chips, fries, and snacks are energy-dense and easy to consume in large amounts without awareness. A single serving of chips may contain the caloric equivalent of several whole potatoes, along with excessive sodium and oxidized oils. Over time, this pattern contributes to hypertension, metabolic syndrome, and weight gain, not because potatoes are inherently harmful, but because their processed forms override the body's natural regulatory mechanisms. There is also a psychological element to potato-based ultra-processed foods that warrants warning. Potatoes are culturally associated with comfort, simplicity, and home cooking, which lowers consumer skepticism. This familiarity makes it easier for heavily processed potato products to be perceived as harmless or even wholesome, despite being nutritionally closer to refined snacks than vegetables. The food industry leverages this perception, marketing potato-based products as vegetable-derived while masking the extent of processing involved. The critical distinction with potatoes lies in structure. As long as the potato's cellular matrix remains largely intact, digestion is slower, satiety is higher, and nutritional value is preserved. Once that structure is destroyed and combined with refined oils, salt, and industrial additives, the potato becomes a delivery system for ultra-processed calories. This transformation happens faster and more completely with potatoes than with many other vegetables, which is why they dominate the snack and fast food landscape. The central warning is not to eliminate potatoes, but to recognize how easily they cross the line from nourishing food to metabolic liability. Potatoes are uniquely vulnerable to ultra-processing because their starch is cheap, adaptable, and highly responsive to industrial techniques. Without conscious choice, it is far easier to consume potatoes as fries, chips, or instant products than as whole foods. In this form, they contribute significantly to excessive calorie intake, blood sugar instability, inflammatory fat exposure, and long-term chronic disease risk. Understanding this vulnerability is essential for reclaiming potatoes as a real food rather than allowing them to function primarily as one of the most pervasive ultra-processed ingredients in the modern diet.